Good afternoon. Thank you so much for joining us today. We are going to talk today about playing some games. My name's Leanna Kratko, and the games that we're playing today are all based on the Math Card Games book by Activities for Learning, or Right Start Math, written by Dr. Joan Cotter. I've chosen some addition and subtraction games today that we can play together and learn how to play, that you can play with your kids later on. So we are doing a webinar today, so just a couple of quick notes. The sound is muted, so don't worry about the dogs barking or the kids screaming in the background. And if you have any questions, you can just ask them in the chat box at the bottom, and if I don't get to them right away, we will answer any questions at the end as well. So jumping right in, our first game today is called Go to the Dump. It's game number A3 in that Math Card Games book. Now, just a side note for those who are not familiar with our card games book, the book is divided into different sections. So this is in the addition section, thus the A. And they go from the easiest games to the most difficult games. So this is A3, so which would imply that it is one of the very first games that your students are going to play, and one of the simplest. So it is a fun game. This is definitely up there, one of my kids' favorite games. It's a great game for learning how to master the facts of 10. So ways to make 10. We can play between 2 and 4 players. And we're going to be using the basic number cards, 1 to 9. So you can pull out the zeros and the tens. Those are the green cards that you have. Our goal is to collect the most pairs. So here's how it goes. You're going to deal 5 cards to each player. In this game, we're going to play with 3 people. So the first thing each player is going to do is to see do I have any pairs? Do I have any ways of making 10? Nope. This person has no pairs. The second person, do I have pairs? Oh, look at that, a 6 and a 4. So that makes 10, that's a pair. So I can put those aside. The third player, does he have pairs? Oh, 7 and a 3. Oh, another one, do you see it? An 8 and a 2. So we can set those aside. Now we're gonna go in clockwise order, starting with this person. And he's gonna say, now I have a 7. What do I need with my 7 to make a 10? Do you have a 3? He asks the next person. And they say, yes, I do. And they pass it over. So he gets a pair. Yay. So he gets to ask again. Now a 2, he's going to ask for an 8. And they say, no, go to the dump. So the dump is our pile in the center. And that we're going to pick up one of those cards and put it in his hand. Didn't make a pair, so he's just going to next person go. The second person, he has a 4. What do I need? A 6. Do you have a 6? No, go to the dump. So he picks up. But when he picked up, he got a match. Yay, so he can lay those down. But that's the end of the turn. Third person. Now he only has one option, right? So he's going to ask that person, do you have a 9? Oh, yep, there you go. Now he's out of cards. So he gets 5 more cards. So we're just going to continue this game, just going around just like that, until the whole stack, the dump pile in the center, is gone. And then we're going to see who has the most cards. I like to just stack them up and see who has the biggest pile, because counting takes way too long. Stack them up, see who has the most. What's great about this game is there is an app as well. So you don't have to play it 100 times a day. You can send your kids off with a device and play our Go to the 10 game. It has an easy, medium, and hard setting on it, so they can play that on their own, which is fantastic. One of the things I love about so many of Right Start Math's games is that they have a basic game and then a lot of different variations of. So I only have to learn one game. It's great. So this one, a couple of variations with the Go to the Dump game. This one is 11s. So here we're going to learn to master the facts of 11. So instead of the 1 and the 9, now we're 1 and 10, right? So those are the facts we're going to learn. We can also play with 9s. So again, we're just going to change those pairs that we're making. Now, just a note about that though, you want to make sure that your students knowledge of the facts of 10 is really solid because they're going to be using that knowledge of 10 to make 11s and 9s. And so you want to make sure that that's really solid, and it'll be way more fun to play any of those other games, any of the variations. So that is going to the dump. Second game is the short chain solitaire. This one's found in A47. So again, it's about halfway through, so a little bit more difficult. Here we're going to reinforce all of the addition facts. So we've been learning lots of addition facts. And we're going to build 4 chains here. So you can see each column is a chain. So how it works, each chain or column is composed of links. So we're going to add the first 2 numbers in each chain to make the third chain. Okay, so 1 plus 8 equals 9. Fairly simple. Okay, 8 plus 9, now 8 plus 9 equals 17. But we're only playing, we're going to actually disregard that 1 in the tens column when we're playing these games. So it's just going to be a 7 here. Okay, so there's your next link. Again, 9 plus 7 is going to be 16 or 6. 7 plus 6 is 13 or 3, and we're just going to keep going. 6 plus 3 is 9, on and on, until we get back to the same number that we started with. So in this case, when we get back to a 1, we know we've completed that chain. Okay. Now, just as a bit of an aside, there's some really cool patterns as we play this game. So each of these chains actually continues onto the next chain, which is really cool. So you can see that 6 and 3 and then 9, 8 and 9 is 17, 4 and 7 is 11. Of course, because we complete a chain when we've got back, we've got that repetition there. Plus we've got those same numbers in there, which is kind of cool. And also a couple other neat repetitions. So back to how we play this game. So we're reinforcing those addition facts, we're building those chains, and we're going to use 36 specific basic number cards. So again, we're using the green ones, but there's specific ones. So in the card game book, it'll tell you how many 2s and how many 3s that you need to have to be able to play the game properly. And we're going to lay our cards out in fans of 3. So it's going to look like this. So we've shuffled them, we've laid them out so we can see all the cards, but we can only get to that top one. You're going to give your student the first 4 numbers in their chain. So they're going to then start looking for that 1 to get started. So we need a 1. There's a 1. We're going to put that up. We need a 3. We'll find a 3. There we go. We need a 9. Okay. Oh, lots of 9s. So you can see how some of those 9s you can't get to, but there's quite a few that you can. So here's where some of the strategy comes in. And so you want to kind of look ahead and see what numbers am I going to be needing. So this one, oh, we're going to need that 4 and 7 here right away. So we're going to choose that 9. Okay, so then we need a 7. We're going to play that 7. We need an 8. Uh-oh, all our 8s are buried. What do we do? No problem. You can just skip that chain, carry on to the next one, and you can come back to it when you've got those 8s available again. So we're going to go to our looking for a 4. Again, we're going to choose one that we need to get something underneath it. So now we've got those 2 chains, 3 and 4, we can start. This is where the math comes in. So 3 and 4 is a 7. We're going to put that there. Now we have 4 and 7. We're looking for a 1 or 11. Oh, there we go. We need that 8, so we can do that. And now we've got 7 and 1. Now we can play that 8 in 2 different places. So again, that's part of the strategy, deciding where you want to play that one. We're going to play that there. Then we can do a 9. We're just going to keep going until we've got, here we go. We're just going to keep playing. Now, at any point, the rules do say you get 1 shuffle if you need to. No cheating like I do in solitaire. And so you just continue going until you've made all the chains. Now there's a completed short chain solitaire. What's really cool, if you're playing these different chain solitaire games, you're going to get 97 out of the 100 addition facts. So that's a really great way to reinforce all those different facts. It can't be 1 if you make an error. So that's another great way of reinforcing the correct answers, not just give any answer. And it can be 1 about 3/4 of the time. So that's really great if you use some strategy and that kind of thing, but it is definitely winnable. My introvert daughter loves that it's a solitaire game she can play by herself, but you can also play it together and have some teamwork going on there too. So again, a little bit of a variation. And there's lots of 9 different variations actually to that game. One of those variations is called short chain subtraction. It's found in the subtraction part of the book, which is S19. And here we're going to be practicing subtraction facts instead of addition facts, but we're going to still be building those 4 chains, but they just look different because now we're subtracting. So here we have the first 2 numbers, 1 minus 2. Now we can't do 1 minus 2, so we're actually going to assume a 10 in the tens place there. So it's actually going to be 11 minus 2 equals 9. Okay, again, 2 minus 9 is going to be 12 minus 9 is 3. And we're going to continue. 9 minus 3 is 6. Continue down. The game itself is played the exact same way. You're just subtracting instead of adding. So again, only have to learn 1 game. It's great. Our third game today. My 13-year-old says this is her favorite game. So there you go. There's quite a glowing report for you. This is called Corner's Game. This one is found A9, and there are lots of variations of this game as well. What I love about this game is there's kind of 2 aspects to it. So first of all, we're going to be practicing our facts that equal 5, 10, 15, and 20. Okay, but we're also going to be having our students do the scorekeeping. And so in that way, they're practicing their mental math. For instance, this is the score. You see there's no little adding things. They're going to do it all mentally. So for instance, their score is 65. In this round, they get a 15. We're going to encourage them to remember to add the 10s and then the 5, then the 1s. So we have 65, 75, 80 is the new score. So I love that dual aspect to it. The goal is to have the highest score. And we can play from 2 to 6 players, so it's a good family game. In our home, we usually play with 2, but it is played very well with 3 or 4 players, so that's good. And we're going to play with this game with the corners cards. So these are the almost square white ones with the 4 different numbers. So here's our rules. We're going to match the numbers, so green with green, blue with blue, etc. You can figure that out. And we're going, in order to score, you have to have this. So if we are matching 2 green ones, they have to equal 5, 10, 15, or 20, those 2 numbers that we're putting together. If we can't do that, we can also have a scoreless match. So we can pair up numbers 2 and 2, 4 and 4, or whatever. We always want to play on the last card played or to any corner. So I'll show you how that works. So each player is going to be dealt 4 cards, and they can play any one of those 4 cards. The person with the lowest blue number is going to start the game. So we're going to assume this was the lowest blue number. And just to make things easy, to show you how the game is played, we're just going to play as if one person was playing to see how it works. So here, this person has this card. So can you see where they need to play that? So they're going to play that matching the blues, 7 and 8. So they're going to get a score of 15. Okay, so we've made that 15, and that's our score. Next card, we're going to play on that last card that we just played, and there's only one thing we can play. Right there, the 1 and the 9 in the green makes 10. So 15 plus 10 is 25. Here's the next one. Where can we play this one? Oh, there we go. 6 and 4 is another 10. So our new score is 35. Now, this one is fun. If you look carefully, we can play this in a few different places. We can play it here in the greens for a score of 10. We can play it here with the reds for a score of 15. Or, very cool, we can play it on the corner. So when we play on the corner, both of those numbers that are touching have to match and have to make a pair. So the 4 and the 1 makes 5, and the 7 and the 3 is a 10. Now, that is still 15. It's the same as the 8 and the 7, but this is a way cooler place to play it. So we're going to play it there. And we get a score of 15, which gives us a total score of 50. And we're just going to keep playing. So again, this one is going to be played on that last card that was played, and we're going to keep going. The game is over for when either the whole stack of cards is gone, or you can set a number 300, 500, whatever you want to play to, depending on your day and your student. Again, lots of variations on this game. The top and the bottom corners game is found in S11, the subtraction area. So shockingly, we're going to be doing some subtraction. So this time we're going to be scoring with positive and negative numbers. Still have the same sums, 5, 10, 15, and 20. But this time the top and bottom numbers are going to be positive, and the side numbers are going to be negative. Okay, so when you play on the corner, you might get an interesting score. So again, we're going to start with the same cards, but this time, normally if we play that, it's on the side, so that would give us a negative 15. There's got to be something better than that, right? But we can do the 2 and the 3 to give us still negative, but this time it's only negative 5. So that's a better score than negative 15, which is really great for kind of helping them understand that difference there. Again, here we go. So we're playing on the last card. We can still play that 10, and this time it's a positive because it's on the bottom. So we get our score of 5 now. Okay. Here we go. We're going to play. We can play a couple places. We can play it there, but that's going to give us a negative number. That wouldn't be good. Oh, there we go. There's a positive number. So we get another 5, which gives us a score of 10. And this time we've got one option. Oh, darn. We have a minus 15. So now we're back to minus 5 again. So we're going to continue playing that way. So it kind of helps them to understand some of those negative and positive numbers, adding and subtracting. Makes a fun way of doing it. Again, these games are taken from the Math Card Games book through Right Start Math. The table of contents shows, so we've got different sections: addition, subtraction, multiplication, division, clocks, number sense, money, fractions, all the different topics. And again, you can pull out different games based on what your students are doing and what the topic is that they're learning. This is what the Math Card Games kit comes with that you purchase from Right Start. So it has the book with all the different games. It has all the card packs that you need, as well as an abacus and some other things that you need to play a couple of the games. It is won Old Schoolhouse Awards as well. It's just as the card game kit. It is part of the full Right Start Math curriculum, which is elementary curriculum A to G. And lots of the games are part of the curriculum every day, especially with the younger ones, but all the way up to the older ones. Right Start has won numerous awards. You can see that Practical Homeschooling Marie Pride's 4 years in a row, which we're very proud of. Old Schoolhouse Awards, different awards. So the curriculum and these card games are well respected from educators and parents alike. So good to know. Just a quick in conclusion, these games are providing instant feedback for our students. It helps them to understand right away whether they got the answer right or wrong. So that's really great way to kind of give them that feedback. It's giving them interest in repetition so that they get those answers quickly in a social setting. My daughter, we were just playing a game earlier today, and she had to write down like 10 answers in her workbook on her worksheet. That was it, 10 numbers. That's all she needed to do. And it was like weeping and gnashing of teeth. But when we pulled out the game, she wanted to play it 3 times. So that's why we play games. We got lots and lots of practice in, and she was actually wanting to do it, which was really fun. It also gives them application for what they've just learned. It's not just some random information. There's a reason for it. If you have any questions, you can type those into the box right now and we can answer those. You are also welcome to peruse our website at rightstartmath.com. Email us, phone us, however you want to get a hold of us, and we can answer any questions that you have. Again, thank you very much for being with us today. It was fun, and I hope you learned how to play some games today. So go play a game. Thanks very much.